Well, life will pay whatever price you ask of it. But you know what's interesting? I love this. Do you know when people really miss the mark? Is they don't ask intelligently. Life will pay whatever price you ask of it, but you have to ask intelligently. Now, if you were to ask intelligently, you need to have a few elements of asking, right? So, like, one of the elements would be you'd have to ask specifically. Most people ask in such general ways. People do that all the time. Like, they'll say something like, listen, Tone, I need to talk to you because I want to make more money. I'm like, well, here's $5. See ya. Get out of here. But more often, you're getting what you're asking for. You're just not aware of how general you're asking of it. Clarity is power, an overused phrase by many, many people, but it's overused for a reason. Clarity is power. The more clear you are about exactly what it is you want, the more your brain knows how to get there. Your brain is designed to follow whatever target you put in front of it. It's like a missile. So if you forget, if you forget your moves and you're not clear, your brain moves and your brain is not clear, and it really won't deliver at the magnitude that it can. Your brain, when you condition it, knows exactly what to go for, and it will find a way to get there. It'll find a way. But when you decide exactly what's important to you, your brain goes after it fast. Really, really quickly. Everyone that's successful builds what I call an NDA plan, right? NDA is built on the metaphor that the way to get to where you are, to where you want to go, the faster, is that you have to build power. You have to build momentum. So N for notice. They have to notice and become immersed in what they want, precisely what they want. If you don't know what you want, or you let yourself get beyond that to something general, you're not gonna achieve it, long term at least. So we all have goals. The problem is, like I said in my Get Real 10-day program, is that we are unconscious in the use of our resources. We're just unconscious. We're like dead to it. Most people's goals in life are like this. Listen, Tone, I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying to get out of bed in the morning. I'm just trying to pay my bills every month. I'm just trying to put food on the table. I'm just trying to get my relationship to be just like a little bit palatable. Hey, listen, all good things, but they're just very general. You're not going to go past that. Everybody's making a living instead of designing a life. And that's it kind of sounds cheesy when I say it, but it's true. People are making a living versus designing their lives. Our goals affect us, whatever they are. If we don't consciously plant the seeds of what we want in the gardens of our minds, we're going to end up with weeds. It's a fact. So ask yourself, are you really living the life you want? So remember this. Your current conditions do not reflect your ultimate potential, but rather the size and the quality of the goals in which you're presently focusing on. We all have to discover or create a healthy and powerful obsession. A healthy obsession. Have you ever looked at someone and asked yourself, like, why are they more successful than anyone else? Or why did they lose all the weight and I didn't? Or why does everything go their way and I'm a hot mess? I'll tell you why. Because they took the first step and raised their standard. When you're done listening to this and you want to change your life in any way, personally, professionally, spiritually, romantically, as boring as it sounds and as stupid as it may sound, even though it doesn't seem super badass or really sexy, it's the only thing that creates lasting change. Someone can go on a diet, for sure, and they may eventually lose some weight, but what will that person end up doing? They will go where? Back to their old patterns unless they raise their standards. And again, there's nothing sexy in that. And it sounds like so 2015 positive thinking-ish, I totally get it. But the truth is, it is the truth, and it is the real way. So maybe I can change my narrative on how I explain it. Let's make it really simple. So what does it mean when you hear raise your standard? All it means is that you need to change your shoulds into musts. The difference in people is that they turn their shoulds into musts. People that you're looking at that are uber successful made everything that was important to them a must do, not a should do. The things that you used to say I should do, well listen, you do your shoulds when it's convenient, don't we? When it's comfortable. When it's all going your way. I have a week off vacation and I'm not going anywhere. I really should go to the gym. But when something is a must, not to other people, but a must to you, do you find a way to get it done? Yes or no? A real must? Yes, you do. So the difference in people is their should becomes their must. And their must mean that they raise their standard. If you want a great jump into the quality of your life, a massive jump, a huge leap, you've got to set yourself up to win. You've got to set yourself up to win. You've got to set yourself up with a process that's consistently growing, that's consistently allowing joy into your life and constantly producing the results that you are after. Now, by change, let's say you become laser focused and you feel that what you want is a must and you're focused and ready and you execute it, but you're still not getting what you want. Have you been there before? Well, yes. Well, that's because you've got inner conflicts. Your beliefs and your values are out of alignment. You've got to resolve those inner conflicts. Let me remind you, 80% of success in anything is your psychology and 20% are your mechanics. So those inner conflicts are like taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Examples would be when you say, you know what, boy, I am totally committed to this, but you don't follow through. You have the tools, the desires, and you're still not getting it. There's a conflict in you. You want to be totally successful, but you're afraid on some level that if you are, you won't be loved. You'll be rejected. Well, that's a conflict. You want to be in a position where you have total free time, but yet you want to build a billion-dollar enterprise. Well, that's a conflict. You really, truly know that you have the tools to make something happen, but a part of you doesn't think you deserve to succeed because of something you did at some point of your life. Well, that's a conflict. Or you think making money and being financially abundant and having things that you really want is not spiritual, and you're on a spiritual path, and so you're in conflict. You really want something in your life, but you just can't shake what your parents did or said, or it's a conflict. You're in conflict. It's those inner conflicts between fighting parts that stop us. So what do we do with this? We have to unlock it and identify the conflicts, get clear on what they are. So you may have total clarity and maybe even the tools, but how can you totally commit when you're being pulled in 2 different directions? So Tony, how do I solve it? Well, there isn't one way. You have to start by getting clear on what your conflicts are. There isn't one way, but you have to start by getting clear on what's most important to you today, not what you think you should do based on an old blueprint or design of yourself or your belief system then, or your parents and what you think you should be blaming them for, society or your friends. Otherwise, you may succeed, but you will never, ever, ever be fulfilled. You will never have that total fulfillment and joy in your life every day. So let's get started. Let's start by learning how to get your insides out of conflict. Let's align your beliefs and your values, shall we? To learn more, visit www.getreal10.com and sign up today for our Get Real 10-Day program.